Yo, I'm gonna continue on the track I was going about the degradation of the West, because some cultures, they just don't get along that good. Some cultures don't mix that well. The way I see it is, if you move to a country, then you are supposed to adapt, like adapt to the people that live there, not try to take over. You are supposed to be a little humble. You are supposed to contribute to society. You are supposed to not be a burden. You are supposed to help others that live there. You are supposed to be a very good member of society, not a leech on society. If you come from a third world country where maybe your religion or your ways are that you look down on the Western people, and you think all the Western girls are there for your enjoyment, you think all Western girls are slags, you think they are just free for you to use and throw away, then I don't think you have anything to do in the West at all. And we get a lot of those. I see videos, again, I see the proof. Everything I talk about in these videos, I can back up. I'm not inventing statistics, I'm not inventing stories. Everything I talk about, I have seen firsthand. Everything I talk about, I have proof of, and some I will put in the videos. There are videos of this one guy. He was, I think that was in Italy, big African guy, just standing on the beach looking at little children with his ding dong in his hand, having fun. This is a video, this is proof. I have proof. He is 100% an illegal migrant. And also we can see what little the police can do. Because I see a lot of videos of like Dutch travel maniac, Alita Brisi, the people that go around in the cities recording and talking with the people and getting reactions from these guys. I see how little the people can, how little police do and can do. They are left with, you can arrest the guy and he's out later that day or the day after, and he's back to the same. Which is crazy. They should be at least thrown in jail for a long time, or maybe just thrown right out if they do anything wrong. I saw yesterday a video about the guy that was a people smuggler, and he was arrested in 2016 in France for people smuggling into Britain, and he was earning like £100,000 a week, and he was arrested in France. He got, I remember, 5, 6, 7 years in jail, and now he is living under a false name in Great Britain and working and waiting for his the false name, of course, waiting for his papers to clear. I haven't seen the full documentary, but I know BBC actually BBC has done a documentary about this, where they confront him, and he of course refused. It wasn't him, but they have pictures of him. So then it's, that was a long time ago. It's like 10 years ago, and you got 5 years. And also, when he was arrested, some policemen were injured. This is what I just saw, like a couple of minutes of that BBC documentary. So again, if you have contempt for the West and contempt for the people that live here, and you don't like our way of living, but you come here and you are free to do whatever you want, and you try to sort of colonize. And I mean, you're free to believe whatever you want, but I don't think we should allow everything again. I think each country should have their own identity, and if we get a lot of migrants and they import their ways of living, their religions, they put up churches or mosques or whatever, then we have like we can get, if they get on the I don't know the right word, if they get, the numbers are so high that they like water out the people that lived there before, which is common in UK now, which is very normal in some cities and towns, then we have a problem, because then we see how aggressive they are. I have seen videos how aggressive these people get, and how they gang up, how they make immediately get together and gang up on others, and violence and aggression and racism against the people that are kind enough to take them in and allow them to live in a country that is safe and they are allowed to practice their own religions. But I think this is kind of abusing the system. That's the way I see it. If you are moving to a country and you are free to believe whatever you want, you're free to practice your own religion, and you slowly try to take over, which Islam has in its way of religion. It says in the Quran that you are supposed to spread Islam wherever you go, and even by violence or force. So that's a culture problem. We are civilized people in the West. Not everybody, but most people are. And when this kind of attitudes and problems try to take over, then we see the issues with it. We also see the grape gangs that have been going on for years in the United Kingdom that has not been reported on. BBC doesn't mention it because they are afraid of being labeled racists. And the numbers are staggering. 250,000 young girls and children raped and abused and drugged, and some dead, and this has been a system. I don't remember all the numbers, but there was a town where there was living that many people, and I think it was let's say there was 1,000 Muslims, and of these 1,000, I think it was 80% were active in these kind of gangs, which is crazy. Then you have another issue with what's wrong with this religion, or what was wrong with this culture that spreads this, allows this, and spreads this. And I'm not an expert in religion, but I have read a little, and I know a little bit. And the Quran allows for very, very strange things in the name of Allah. And this is the West is hurting because of this in some countries. Not all countries, in some countries. And some people are not the problem at all. Some people are very good to adapt to a new country and work and contribute to the community and do what they are supposed to, acting civil, acting courteous, and being nice, and being good examples of foreign culture in a new country, but many aren't. And the ones that aren't are getting to be many in some countries. And then we see the problems. We see the rise in crime and the rise in abuse of young girls. We see the rise in drugs, the rise in the ugly knife crimes. I think it's many instances in the last months where people with another culture that have been allowed to walk around with their knives because it's a religious part of the religion, like the Sikhs, walking around it like these big machetes or knives because it's a religious garment or religious thing, and they have been allowed to do it. I don't think they are anymore, because the latest videos I have seen, the British police are starting to arrest people that walk around with big knives, which is, wow, it's about time. And you have this guy, I don't remember his name right now, but he was stabbed like in his throat, and because he got into a fight with this guy who was a Sikh who had a knife, and he was stabbed 6-7 times. And when the police got there, they put him in handcuffs so he couldn't breathe, so he died because the guy that stabbed him said that he was racist towards him. So they arrested the guy that was stabbed, and he just bled out and died. It's been a big thing in the United Kingdom, and not a lot of talking about that here in Norway, which I again find very strange. But yeah, so I think times are changing. We are seeing like in some sort, I think the West is being put through a test, you can say, because we have to have some more guts and be vocal about setting boundaries, about what we accept, what we think is fine, and don't be afraid of being called a racist. If we have an issue with somebody, we are not supposed to let them know because they have another culture or another background. I mean, that's crazy. Then they are free to do whatever they want, which is the problem. There's a lot of this white guilt going on with us in the West, somehow being guilty for past generations way back, what they have done. Like in the United States, you have the slavery, but slavery has been in almost every country. You had slavery in Norway too. They still have slavery in some countries. I saw a video last night in, I think it was an African country, where they were selling young children. 4, 5, 6, up to 9, 10 were put in like cloth bags and sold on open market. That slave trade still going on. And slave trades was allowed in many countries up to the 50s, some countries later, I believe. It was, and we don't talk about that. So I don't see, we should not be guilty by voicing our critics. We should be allowed to say we are critical of something without being labeled racist, without being labeled Islamophobic. Islamophobic is a very strange word. That's like a word that is invented by people that don't want criticism for their religion's views on people and how they act towards others. It's a very strange word, I think, when you see you are not allowed to be critical against a religion. I mean, you're allowed to be critical against Christians. You're allowed to be critical against Jews. But if you are critical against an Islamist or Islam, then you are Islamophobe or racist. That's very peculiar. So this is something I will dive into in more videos later. I will do, like I said, some reaction videos to show you what I see, what I've seen, what's going on, what's not being put on the news. What they avoid talking about. I'm sure I will get some reactions about this, but whatever, man. I'm allowed to talk about this stuff. I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want, really, and without being labeled a racist or Islamophobic. Very strange. But yeah, so hit the like, share the video, comment. Are you seeing some issues with migration, economical migration, illegal migrants in your countries? And do you see what I see? Do you see the West has an issue with putting their foot down? Maybe before it's too late, we should do that. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. We talk more soon. Peace out.